Hey, it's Tim Miller with the Bulwark, and boy, I got to tell you, Donald Trump is being more explicit than ever about the scary plans he has if he is to be elected in 2024 and become president again. And I spent some time with some of his henchmen, like Steve Bannon, in Las Vegas last week, and they're even being more explicit than Trump. So let me give you the breakdown. Here's Trump to Univision in an interview. He says, look, they've already done it. What they've done, they've released the genie out of the box.
What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. You understand that?
It's not quite the phrase, but it's Donald Trump. They've released the genie out of the box. So if I happen to be president and I see someone who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say, go down and indict them. They'd be out of business. They'd be out of the election.
If I happen to be president and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say, go down and indict them. Mostly that would be, they would be out of business. They'd be out. They'd be out of the election.
Having a candidate running for president explicitly say that they are going to indict their political foes is pretty alarming. It's also alarming. The kind of subtext there is Trump is implying that if he becomes president again and there's someone that is doing well against him, that would be a problem. Well, Donald Trump would be term limited out if he got elected again, God forbid. And so it shows that he's at least contemplating whether or not to challenge the Constitution on that front too. And so as Susan Glasser puts this, the question with 1 year left on the clock is who's listening? Are people listening to what Donald Trump is putting right out there about what he plans to do? He plans to target political foes.
We will start by exposing every last crime committed by crooked Joe Biden, because now that he indicted me, we're allowed to look at him, but he did real bad things.
He plans to use the Justice Department to go after people. He claims that's what the Biden administration is doing.
And I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every Marxist prosecutor in America for their illegal, racist, and reverse enforcement of the law.
Obviously, we know this is not what the Biden administration is doing. The only reason Trump has been indicted is because multiple grand juries of regular people in multiple different places in Florida, in D.C., in New York, and Georgia have all decided that the evidence shows that he should be indicted. Trump's not interested in that. Instead, he wants to make this out into a third world country where the caudillo gets into the White House and they decide whether their opponent should be indicted or not. And, it's pretty alarming. Here's another thing that he said. He says he pledges to execute the largest domestic deportation operation in American history on his first day in office.
On day one, I will terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration, and we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
Immigrants on buses, the whole deal. That was met with thunderous applause from the crowd at his rally. To say un-American would be an understatement about that kind of proposal. But here's the thing. This is not just lip service from Trump. I know that there's a lot of people that feel like, maybe the last time, he was hemmed in from his worst impulses. That would not happen next time, okay? The types of people that want to work in the Trump White House, that put bumpers on his most outrageous aspirations, that said that, sir, we can't put a moat on the Rio Grande with crocodiles in it to eat immigrants.
According to the Times article, the president allegedly suggested in March they shoot migrants in the lakes to slow them down, and also reportedly talked about fortifying a border wall with a water-filled trench stocked with snakes or alligators, adding he wanted the wall electrified with spikes on top that could pierce human flesh.
We can't shoot people. We can't electrify the fence, right? All of the inhumane stuff you wanted to do. There will be nobody there to do that next time. And I was in Las Vegas with Steve Bannon this past week. You can watch that on the Circus on Showtime on Sunday night, some of the interview that we conducted with him. Bannon was even more upfront than Trump in elucidating that this is going to be their agenda. Deportations, 10 million people deported, putting kids back in cages. Bannon said absolutely that was part of the agenda. Indicting the Biden family, yes. Freeing the January 6th prisoners was on the list of things that he mentioned.
When we have a real J6 committee, and we're going to adjudicate, we're going to adjudicate all of 3 November. We can't,
You
we're not
don't really
going to
believe this.
100%.
You seriously
100%.
think it was a stolen stuff?
100%.
You know, it goes on and on. And I think that when you listen to what these guys have to say, we need to believe them. And voters who are apathetic, who are looking at the two sides and say, I have a problem with Biden on this policy, I don't love the Gaza policy, I don't love the student loan policy, whatever it is. The comparison between that and the explicit plans that Donald Trump and Steve Bannon and that crew have to tear up the Constitution, to deport people from this country at massive scale, to jail political foes.
Do you regret not locking her up? And if you're president again, will you lock people up?
Well, I'll give you an example. The answer is you have no choice because they're doing it to us.
To reopen Gitmo. This is what they are planning to do, and so everyone needs to be eyes wide open about this. And I think that we need to stop kind of treating this like, Donald Trump is just one candidate in a large field of candidates where they all have weird views. Like, Donald Trump is an extreme outlier, even in the Republican primary. He is winning by huge margins. These anti-democratic authoritarian policies are what his voters want. This is what he says he's going to do. This is what the people that are going to staff the administration say that they're going to do. We'll do other videos on the Project 2025 plan that goes into greater detail on some of these policy issues. It is all there. It is all out there in the open, and it is not something that can be dismissed or laughed at or create a false equivalency over with concerns that you have from other candidates. So, sorry to bring you down here on a Friday afternoon, but that is the latest from Donald Trump. And while some in the media might not be monitoring everything that's coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, they might be bored with it. They might not think it's new news anymore. That's not how we look at it here at the Bulwark, and so we're going to keep you abreast of all of the latest. Check out The Circus on Showtime on Sunday. It is the series finale, and come back here next week for more news and political updates from your pals at the Bulwark. Peace. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.